am here in Jesus' name. The house have already been addressed, but I thank God for the overseer of the house. Thank God for her. We thank God. I thank God for my leaders that are here, and to each and every one of you. Coming out of John, the 19th chapter, and the 28th verse. John 19 and 28. 19th chapter and verse 20. That the scripture might be fulfilled, saith, I thirst. The word that I have on tonight is I thirst, but if I had to leave you a subject and leave you for a thought, I will take the first two words and the last two words of that scripture, and I'll give you this thought. After this, I thirst. After this, I thirst. In the natural, after a long day of working in the sun, the body longs for fuel to hydrate itself. It does not matter what your favorite drink might be. You might like Pepsi, you might like Coke, you might drink tea, or you might drink some other type of fluid. But they tell me that the water is the best fluid to rehydrate your body.
All right.
After a long day of working.
Yes.
Well, the spiritual body, after going through a long day or a long week or a long month, or for some of us a long year of spiritual warfare, the spirit needs to be refreshed. And I believe that John was saying that Jesus, after encountering a series of after this, allow me just to take you back just to a few of his after this moments. Well, it started with after this. He was praying in the Garden of Gethsemane, and the soldiers were getting close to him, and they were about to arrest him. And after Peter had cut the ear of the soldier off, and Jesus miraculously picked up the ear and put it back on the soldier. After they had arrested Jesus and they tried him and they put him on trial and they accused him of things that he was not guilty of, and they decided that they would let a thief go, but they would crucify Jesus.
All right.
After they had whipped him, his flesh was tearing off of his body, and they put a crown of thorns upon his head. After they spat on him and called him every name but a child of God, and they carry his cross. After they put nails in his feet and nails in his hand, and after they hung him high to die, yet Jesus looked down and he forgave us even when we didn't deserve us. He gave a thief that was on his side entrance into paradise. He gave his mother that was down at his knees. He gave her a son. He gave his disciple a mother. And even when he felt that God had forsaken him, after all of this, Jesus, now knowing that the time was winding down, he said, I thirst. Jesus now is in need. Jesus now thirsty. Yes, that same Jesus that turned water into wine is now in need. Now this same Jesus that healed the blind man is now in need. The same Jesus that saved Zacchaeus and his whole household is now in need. This same Jesus that met the woman at the well, told her all about herself. This same Jesus is in need. Yes, the same Jesus that healed the woman with an issue of blood is now in need. This same Jesus that healed the 10 lepers is in need. Cast out demons out of the man is in need, for he cried out, I thirst.
My Lord.
Now he is in need. What do you do when the person that is your healer, the person that is your supplier, the person that answers all your prayer, now is in need? Have you ever went to somebody and you've always been there for them? They needed money, you had it for them. They needed counsel, you had it for them. They needed a ride, you took them where they needed to go. And all of a sudden you were at the point that you were in need and they had nothing for you. Jesus said in the scripture, I thirst. Those that heard what he said, they heard him in the natural sense. For they looked at his appearance and they saw sweat and blood coming down. They heard him with their natural ears, for they heard a dry cough and they heard a crack in his voice, and they felt that their human emotion got the best of them. So they provided to him what they thought that he wanted. They provided what they thought that he needed. So they gave him vinegar to drink. Jesus' needs were far worse and far beyond what any man could help. I found that in the midst of all the people that I know, man can't always meet our needs, no matter how much they try. But I'm so glad that I know a God. I'm so glad that I worship a God. I'm so glad that I serve a God that can do all things but fail. Do I have a witness on tonight? Do you know the same God that I know that can do all things but fail? But I'm here just to remind you that the way maker, I'm here to remind you that our provider, I'm here just to remind you that our supplier has already hung on the cross. He's already suffered on the cross just so that every need that we have can be met on tonight. Everything that we're thirsty for, he can meet it on tonight. I don't know what you're thirsty for. It could be healing of your mind, body, soul, or spirit. It could be that you're thirsty for more finances. You could be thirsty for deliverance. You might have a spiritual uplifting that you're thirsty for. You could be in an emotional refuge that your mind is going all over the place, and you're thirsty for some healing. But whatever you're thirsty for, I'm reminded of John 12:32, when Jesus told us that if I be lifted up, I'll draw all men unto me. Well, I'm just here to tell you, if we lift Jesus up on tonight, if we lift him up in a praise, then I believe that he'll draw us closer to him. And I believe that the closer we praise him, the closer we'll get to God. Do we have any praises in the house? Who don't mind giving God some praise? Well, then I'm reminded of the songwriter when he said, when the praises of God goes up, that his blessings come down. But I stand here to tell you, if you give God some praise, then his blessings will come down. I say praise him until you get closer to it. Praise him until you get your breakthrough. Praise him until he quench that thirst that you have on the inside. Praise him until you get your blessing. I'm reminded of the saints of old. I would see them long time ago. They would turn their face to the wall, and I couldn't understand why you're turning your face to the wall. But they wanted to shout out everything that happened that day. They wanted to shout out anybody else giving God some praise. And they would go into a dance. They would go into a praise. And the music stopped. They kept on praising. They could give the benediction. They would keep on praising. They knew what they were going through. They knew what they were facing. So they kept on praising. In the midst of their aches, in the midst of their pain, they gave God praise until they quenched that thirst. They were determined, I'm going to praise you until you bless me. I'm going to praise you